Guys, happy Sunday. So, as ever, if you see me in the car, it's usually a sign that I'm just in between, and I usually pull up, and because I'm creating content twice a week now, I try to do as much of it as I can on the go. Okay, so these videos in the car are a lot less planned, but to be honest, the key thing is getting across the information to you guys. So today I'm going to speak to you about why I believe everybody, and that includes you, everybody should start their own business. Okay, so I'm going to just unpack why I believe this is a compelling thing for everybody to be doing, whether you've got a job or not, whether you've tried a business and failed before. Honestly, couldn't care less. But I believe absolutely everyone should be starting a business, and I'm going to break down the reasons why. So I've got my notepad, I've written a few things down as to why I believe you should start a business. And I'm going to tell you some stories, give you some examples from my own personal life as to why I see this as the thing that will really change your life in various ways, not just in monetary terms, but in so many different ways if you decide to take the leap to start your own business. Okay, so before we do that though, I'd love to offer you my own definition of what entrepreneurship means. Okay, so I wrote it down on my phone. So let me make sure I'm. Hang on. Yay! Here we go. Logged into my phone. Let's make sure that I'm getting across the right definition. Okay, right. So normally in our society, we see entrepreneurship as something you must become, right? So like, oh, you must stop being an employee and become an entrepreneur, okay? Which has some justifications, but the point there is that we see entrepreneurship as, something you must become. You must go and do something to become an entrepreneur. Okay, it's quite a hard word to say actually, and I hope I'm coming across well. You must go and do something to become an entrepreneur, okay? But my definition, and I've come to realize this, having taken the leap myself many times, right, is that being an entrepreneur means that I've lifted. Do that again. Being an entrepreneur means that I've lifted myself into the air and found my own wings, right? So being an entrepreneur is a mindset thing. It's not just like I'm going to go and become like some guy who started a company. I can tell people, here's my business card. I've now started a company. No, that's not what it's about. It's about a mindset shift. Okay. It's realizing that you've carried yourself up to a place whereby you can start to create your own opportunity. You can get into the driving. See how I'm in this driving seat right now, right? You're in the driving seat. You're not in the kiddie's seat at the back. You're not sitting over there. You're here and you're driving, okay? And that to me is what entrepreneurship is about, okay? It's about having a life's vision and using this vehicle of creation, yeah, to deliver on that life's vision, okay? And it's quite a journey to be able to get to that stage. And I've been on that journey, and I can tell you, right? So as somebody who's been on this professional journey, chartered accountants, blah 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 blah, right? It's been wired into us that we must follow these paths, right? But I'm also somebody who has taken a ton of risks and continue to, right? And I'm going to give you like some real examples from my life, day-to-day life, that have just completely blown my mind over the years, okay? So just making sure this is recording. It is. That's completely blown my mind, right? So now I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why everybody, including you, no matter where you are in life right now, no matter what age you are, no matter what skin color you've got, no matter what gender you are, everybody should start a business. Here are my reasons, my top 5 reasons, okay? Number 1 is that it's a lever for financial independence. a lever. So you might notice already there are many pathways towards becoming financially independent, and one of them is to start your own thing. Now you can go through, say, property investing. You can start working as an employee and increasing your savings rate and saving and investing money. One, though, that not many people talk about is the idea of starting your own business. And I'm going to give you an example in my own life, okay? Not even just using me. I'm going to use my mother, my mum as an example. Many of you will know that I immigrated to this country in 1998 as a 14-year-old, okay? I did not immigrate here just by myself. I did it with my mum and my sisters and my brother, okay? My dad was already in this country. He'd come a few years before. So the reason I mention my mum is that, she immigrated here in her 40s, right? New life with absolutely nothing left, nothing. New country, new culture, what have you. At least I was 14 and I still had my life ahead of me. In her 40s, she came to a new place with a huge amount of challenge as a black woman. Yeah? As a black woman, right? With not many things going for her at all. Okay? Now, her route has always been business. Always. I've never known her. I mean, she used to teach years ago, right? She read political science and she used to teach years ago. But ever since then, she's become this woman who has always wanted to start something. Business. She could always go on about business. And she's tried many and she's failed at many and she's tried some and she's been a success at some. But I've seen her flourish financially. And she's always said to me, look, this accounting thing, you can go and become an accountant or you can hire accountants. Okay? It took a while because she already had the mindset, right? She already knew that, this is a different game, right? It's either you're an employee, for example, right? Or you pursue business, but you're pursuing it with a particular mindset, okay? Which is that, an employee per se doesn't have a great advantage over you as an entrepreneur because you can actually end up hiring those people who are employees anyway, okay? So this point about it's a lever for financial independence, I've seen her soar financially, fly financially. And the thing that really just cemented the whole thing to me was once, a few years ago, must be maybe 5 years ago now, my mum was trying to make an investment abroad, trying to buy a holiday home for that matter, right? And what was so interesting about it was just how casual it was that she mentioned how much she was paying for this home. And she's paying for this home without a mortgage, right? So this is somebody who has become successful through her business over the years to the extent that she could buy a property abroad with an amount of money that I'd have to work for years to generate, right? So just give you some perspective, right? So she was playing a completely different game as somebody who started from nothing. So the point I'm making here is you can start from absolutely nothing. And if you try and fail and try and fail and try and fail, you will hit big time because all those failures along the way are lessons in business. They're actually gold nuggets for you to learn how this whole thing works, okay? So she'd got to a point where she'd paid off her mortgage in the UK. She'd had all these things going and she had all these assets. She's now buying an asset abroad. But buying it from the perspective of somebody who was not just financially independent in the sense that, my income meets my expenses. She's gone way past that, right? She's now buying a holiday home. This is lifestyle. And that only came about, I'm going on about this for so long, all right? Because I really want it to sink in. This is a real life example. She's able to do that because of the lever of business, right? So no matter who you are watching this video, right? And I hate to say this, it's so unlikely that you'll become rich working for somebody else. It's so tiny, the chances, right? Most people, in fact, no employer you work for today is paying you what you are worth. That's the whole point. That's why you're an employee, right? So what you then must do because your employer has a deficiency because they don't realize your full value, what you then must do is go out there and find the rest of the income that you are worth, right? And so the lever of the side hustle and the business is critical for paying you what you're worth, provided you know what you're worth, right? Because you might have accepted from your employer that what they're paying you is, like that's all I can earn. This is why I say to you, this is a mindset thing, okay? So number one is that it's a lever for financial independence. And I know that because this lever helped us accelerate our journey to financial independence, right? And I'll cover, I'm sure, over many videos, how we've been able to take the steps via this pathway of starting a business, okay? I'll share in the link below and above various videos such as how you can start a business with no money, for example. Feel free to check that out. The second one is that starting a business helps you fight fear. So I'm currently at what I believe to be kind of the most fearless stage of my life, right? And I'm there because I started this platform, The Humble Penny, for example. So I've been doing many things along the way, many smaller type businesses with family members and creating and starting things. But The Humble Penny is the first one that I've just ventured out and just gone, boom, I'm going to just do my own thing with this thing and see where it goes. And it didn't actually start as a business, but it's now become a financial education business. But what this has done, this whole idea of starting a business, is just helped me kind of just take risk daily. There's no day when I'm not trying new things because I've built this muscle of being fearless. Okay, so starting a business is critical for helping you fight that fear, that thing that's stopping you taking the steps to move forward. Starting something, no matter what it is, doesn't have to be some brilliant whizzy idea, doesn't have to be a cool idea. It could just be like, you've come up with some idea to start cleaning people's homes, but charging them a subscription fee. Doesn't even have to be that sexy, but you started it. And it doesn't have to be some new idea. It has to be something you started. And provided you are able to execute that thing, i.e., like sit down and say, I'm going to start it. I'm going to launch it on this date. This is who I'm serving. This is why I'm serving them. This is how they're going to pay me, blah, 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 blah. As long as you can execute all those things and actually then start to deliver value and get paid, right? You start to become more fearless. Because even if you failed at that thing, you learn some lessons from it and apply those lessons to the next thing. I've seen this happen countless number of times, not just with my life, with my mother, with my sisters, with my brother, with my dad, all these people I've just mentioned all run various food businesses, whether it's a food business, whether it's a massaging business, whether it's a childcare business, whether it's an online business, whether it's a digital business, whatever it is, they all run those types of businesses. And I've seen them succeed and fail and succeed. But overall, they are flying. I'll give you an example. My younger sister, who's 32, is becoming mortgage-free this year. She's never had a job. She's never had a single job. And she lives here in the UK, on the border of London, in a really, really nice home. And in her early 30s is becoming mortgage-free. Just think about that, right? Just think about that. And she's never had a normal job. What does that tell you? Well, I hope it tells you a lot more than you might think ordinarily, okay? The third reason is that it helps you become a problem solver, okay? Now, there is no day, I can tell you right now, there's no day that I wake up and leave my house and head into town that I'm not connecting dots all the time on how to solve problems or how I can use something I saw to help what I'm doing move forward. Like I walk past Oxford Street quite often and Regent Street in London quite often. And most people walking down those streets are thinking, oh, look how nice all these things look. Look at all these beautiful clothes and mannequins, right? Whereas I'm looking at them and looking at the font type that's used. And I'm looking at the trends across all the shops. Why have they all got the sale sign up, right? Why are they all saying 70%, not 40%, right? Because my mind has been wired to connect what's going on in my environment to helping me solve my own problems. For example, how I'm marketing my own business, the humble penny, right? For example, marketing it on YouTube, creating these videos, marketing it via blog, marketing it across various social channels, okay? So you can see that starting a business goes beyond just the economics of making money. It turns you into a real problem solver. And that's what business really is about. It's about delivering value. And only when you deliver value does somebody put their hands in their pockets and take out one of these things, right? One of these things. Debit cards, credit cards, they take them out and they pay you for something, right? Because you have taken away pain from them, you've solved their problem, and you've given them a solution. You've delivered value, okay? Number 4 is that starting a business makes you more creative, right? So this is why I believe you should start a business, because it makes you a lot more creative. So a lot of us today just use our skill sets for our employers. Now, you might think, yeah, that's fair because my employer pays me a fee, so therefore I swap my skill set to solve my employer's problem. Okay, that's probably fair, right? That's fair. But how are you using your skill sets to solve many other problems in your life or many other problems in the world, for example? Starting a business just helps you think layers deeper than you might ordinarily think. Because typically when you wake up as an employee, you go to work, you leave it whenever you leave home, you leave at 5 o'clock or whenever you leave work, you get home and you shut down, and that's it. But an entrepreneur never, person with that mindset, remember, it's about mindset, never really shuts down from a creativity perspective. They're building that muscle. I can't believe I'm actually demonstrating with my own muscle. They're building that creativity muscle all the time, right? It's almost a feedback loop. They solve problems, they think, they go back, they reflect, they apply their creativity, they solve problems. They go back, they think, they apply, they solve problems again. By doing that, you're building your creative muscle, okay? And only by becoming more creative do you actually start to make more money, for example, okay? So think about many people who say to you, you might be one of them, who say, oh, I want to make some more money. I want to make more money, right? But like I can look at, even on this street that I'm on, I can probably count 10 ways that I can make money on this one street by applying my creativity and my mind, okay? The problem is most of us are unable to use our day-to-day creativity. That's inbuilt because we're not almost recharging it every day. But by starting your own business, no matter how small that business is, you become more creative over time. And with creativity comes a much better life, right? Not just talking about money making, like the money making will come regardless. Like you just have a much more amazing life because you get to a stage of your life where you are applying creativity all around you all the time. The 5th reason why I believe everyone should start a business is because it has never been easier to start a business. I mean, I'll give you an example, right? Tonight, right? So it's 4 p.m. on a Sunday. I can choose today, like before midnight, to start a business. And I'll start it. Why? Because it's so much easier. The technology is all around us. Think about it, right? Like, I can use one of these things, my smartphone, to start a business. Open a PayPal account. I can start a WordPress website. I can go on, like, I don't know, Squarespace. You know, none of these companies, I'm just mentioning them because, like, there are tools around there that anyone can use. I can sit down and think, oh, okay, who have I been hearing has been saying that they've been having some problems in their lives? What are those problems? Who else is saying that? I can go on Facebook and join a Facebook community and start to listen closely to what people are saying, listening to their problems so that I can start to come up with solutions potentially for how I can solve their problems. I can even copy an existing business and go, actually, that's quite a good business model. How about I start something but give it a different twist? Yeah. So the idea here is that you're taking the ingredients that you're noticing in that business are the same, but you're applying and creating a totally different recipe, right? So there's so much that you can do because it's so much easier. The barrier to entry into starting a business is so low these days. But most people will say to you two things. I don't have enough money, Ken, and I don't have enough time, which is just like what the most mediocre people in the world say. Like, no offense, right? But if you're one of those people saying that all the time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, please stop. Like, seriously, just stop, right? Because you can start anything you want to start today, provided you have sufficient levels of creativity and you use the things that are around you that exist for free, and use the things that you own that already exist in your own sphere, your own universe, to start to solve your own problems, to start to actually create that thing that you want. And a business is one of those things that I so wish so many more people could start. Like, there's nothing that gives me more joy than looking in my family's WhatsApp group and we're just talking about how we're going to go and like spend Christmas in this destination and in that destination, because we have all been grafting and working so hard that the money is not the problem anymore. Do you kind of get my point? The problem now is getting everybody together, because people have done business activities to make the money that then gives us the lifestyle we want, right? And it's just, for me, it's just so liberating that this vehicle of a business is one that has helped us achieve this particular life that we want. It's part of the reasons why we've achieved this particular life that we've got at the moment. So I'd encourage you, no matter who you are listening to this, if you're one of those people who says, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, or you've never started a business, honestly, I'd say, look, hesitation has a real cost, okay? Hesitation has a real cost, and you've got to start today, not tomorrow, not at 7 a.m. tomorrow or 9 p.m. tomorrow, today, to ask yourself, what is it I'd like to start? What have I been sitting on for a long time? And what exactly is stopping me taking that leap towards starting that thing that I want? Okay? I find personally that it's asking yourself these very simple but important questions and writing down the answers to them that helps you start to kind of open your mind up to other possibilities that you might not even have thought about. And I also find hanging around with the right people helps in this process. If, for example, I talked about my family, I deliberately make myself hang around with people who think the way I do as well, because it just helps me grow and it challenges me. Okay. So if you're that person who'd love to start a business but just don't know where to start, drop me a line in the comments, okay? I'd be more than happy to start to engage with you and give you some thoughts around how you can start to make that happen. But one thing's for sure, if you want a different life beyond what you've got at the moment, if you feel like your life is just okay, it's just like meh, it's just like, it's just like not that exciting, then consider starting a business, okay? My experience tells me that it changes your life. And for you, it should be an exciting possibility to experiment and see where that journey possibly takes you, okay? If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to this channel, my name's Ken of The Humble Penny, and what we do is to give you the insights, the tips, the hacks to work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. We want this thing to be easy for you, okay? This is why we're sharing, okay? So please subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the comments below. Let me know. Have you started a business before and failed? Have you never started a business before? What's stopping you starting one? What are your thoughts around starting a business? Do you currently run a business and are you struggling? Are you currently running a business and succeeding? Are you a full-time employee who's just dreaming one day to start a business or a side hustle? Let me know in the comments. Just hit me up. and I'd be more than happy to offer you some insights. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you again on our next video. Take care and bye for now.